Good evening everybody, Car Biker here, and Tosh.
Hello!
And it's time for another TDM Tuesday.
Yay!
Another bit of work on the Yamaha TDM850. Tonight, bit more electricery, we're going to put on some heated grips. Now I've done this before in an earlier video, so we're going to run through this one reasonably quickly, do the whole job in one go. If you do want to see the detail on how you fit heated grips, and actually a slightly newer version of heated grips, go have a look at the XJ6 video. Right, let me show you the parts. So here we've got the brains of the unit. This is the little controller. You see, it's the Oxford hot grips that we're using. Across here we have the remote control, if you like. I mean remote as in it's on a long wire, and it will clip onto the bars using that little bracket there. Then we've got the two grips themselves. Got to remember, one is wider than the other. That's the throttle side, that's the clutch side, and finally a long bit of wire that connects everything together. Now you might notice that these are not brand new, these are off Tosh's CBF. Always reuse things if you can, it's cheaper. First thing, get these bar ends off, and then we'll get the grips off, and just for a bit of fun we're going to try taking one off with a screwdriver and WD-40, as I did on the earlier video. I'm going to try and take one off with a compressor, see how that works. But bar ends first. And the other one. So now the trick is screwdriver in between the grip and the bar, and just tease it in there. This is going to scratch the bar a little bit, but it's going to have a grip on the top, so who cares. Down as far as it'll go without doing too much pressure, and a bit of lubricant. It's just working the screwdriver around, breaking any glue that the manufacturer put the grips on with, and once that's done right to the end, with any luck these will just come off. Lovely! Now I've never seen this done, Tosh has never done it, but apparently if we blow compressed air between the throttle tube and the grip, it will break the glue off. Worth a try. It's like blowing up a balloon. Nah, that's not going anywhere. It definitely ballooned out, and I assume it's broken the glue, but without any lubricant it's not coming off anytime soon. So back to the original plan, screwdriver and lubricant. And twisting clockwise, so we're going against the throttle tube. Pretty cool. Clean off all the grease with a bit of panel wipe, otherwise it won't stick when we put the new grips on. Right, time to put the grips back on. Start with this side, throttle side, and we're going to use a bit of super glue to put this on. Now a lot of people say don't use super glue, it doesn't come off. Trust me, it does. If you don't use enough of it, it comes off when you don't want it to, and you end up with wobbly grips. So I'm going to use plenty. We have tried hairspray, and it was pretty hopeless. This is what they give you when you buy the things. I want to use the proper stuff. And you've got to make sure, of course, when you put the grip on, that where the throttle moves, the cable's not going to get tangled up in anything. And we'll leave that set. Make sure on this side that it's not going to interfere with the horn. Perfect. Right, we have given the grips a little bit of time just to dry some of the glue, so they've got a bit of grip to the grips. Now we've got to start thinking about how we're going to run the wires. So we've got these two wires here at the end of the grip. They join onto this cable here, and there's not a great deal of distance between them, so the only choice we've got really is to mount this at the front of the bike and then run a cable around. So our plan is the cable will come over the top through the loops that are built into the bike already, down here following the cable ties that are already there, and then under the frame and up around the back of the frame down here somewhere, and then it'll all connect together at the back and go into our box, which at the moment is missing, and I'll explain why later. Cable run, so we're coming down following the cable that's already there, running underneath the frame and under where the tank will be, into the back. Now, tie wrap time. Let's get this thing neat and so it's not flapping about the place. But normally you would take this bracket and you would mount it on one of your brackets here. But unfortunately on this bike, these are where your mirrors come out. So we're having to be a little bit ingenious. Bit of rubber, little grip, and hopefully we'll get this around the bar and mount the bracket thusly. Something like that.
Richard, could you get a smaller screwdriver?
No.
Rich, could you get a bigger screwdriver?
It works, doesn't it? That's not going anywhere. Okay, we've got the cables run, we've got the controller mounted, everything's nice and neat. We just need to get some power to the grips, and because these are not like the new grips where they turn themselves off, we want this to go through a relay. We put the relay in the other week and we linked it to this box which has a connector in, but we're not using this anymore. We've got a nice new box of tricks. Now after quite a few comments on the last video, which we took note of, we do listen, honest. Got this nice little thing. Essentially, we've got 4 connectors either side, and they just connect through via a fuse. So we can pop the top off. Your fuse pops in, and we can have a different fuse for each gadget that's on the bike. And that means we can have the correct size fuse for each gadget as well. So this is going to replace that box. We need to wire it up just with some spade connectors, and then we can check if the grips actually work. Wish us luck. Firmly seated, pop a fuse in. We'll check that we're using the correct fuse later, but for now we just need a fuse. Now for fun we'll put the lid back on, although all of this obviously needs tidying up. But that's what it'll look like in the end. Now we can fire the bike up, or turn on the ignition anyway, get the circuits live and check the grips actually work. Right, so it's time for the moment of truth. Let's turn the bike on. The relay clicks, so everything should be powered. So the key's on, the grips don't come on, we need to turn them on manually. Let's see. We have a blue light, which means they should be working. So with these grips, 4 heat settings. Just go up and down with little clicky buttons. And the idea is that when you finish using them, you would turn them off. But of course people forget, which is why I put the relay in. So if I turn the key, the grips go off. Perfect. So that's the grips on. Just need to get these bar ends in. And it's late and I'm tired. And Tosh is tired too. So thanks for watching. Ride safe. And we'll talk to you again soon.